Dear Derry. No, this is not the Grim Reaper. This is my microphone. I keep a towel over it like this to help cut down on the amount of noise that seeps through from other parts of the house. And by other parts of the house, I mean that little alcove right there, because sound will bounce over there and echo and come back again, and it's horrible. I will get sound baffling. I will do it. I just don't have any right now. What a day today was. I meant to do my streaming today. Didn't do my streaming today. I remembered it about, probably about an app. Toothpaste. Looks like my toothpaste tube seems to have ruptured. Oh well. Anyways, about an hour. I think the tube must have been up against some hand lotion or something. It tastes very odd. Anyway, I mean, it is mostly toothpaste. It just tastes like hand lotion or something else that might have been in this drawer as well. Like I'm saying, about an hour before we did the StarCast podcast, I realized, crap, I was going to stream from like noon to 3 today. Because that's what I think I'm going to do. From like when I get up in the morning to about noon, I'll do, voiceover auditions. And then at noon, I'll stream a game for a little while. And then at 3:30 is when we usually have the setup call for Star Citizen. And then at 4 o'clock is when at 4 o'clock my time is when we start recording it, and then we go for 2 or 3 hours. It's supposed to be 2 hours. Sometimes we do 2.5. Anyway, so yeah, kind of boo-booed and got off schedule. Of course, I didn't really get my schedule all that well set up. I mean, I know what I want to do, Tuesdays and Thursdays. What is going on with these? Sorry, there are files that keep appearing on my desktop. It's not like a virus thing. It's something which has apparently been transferred to me on Skype, and for some reason it keeps showing back up. There, stay away. And Skype's not running, so I don't know why it's back up again. Amazing day today. Aside from forgetting that, it's Thursday. I was going to do streaming today. Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are my streaming days. Forgot. Until it was too late. But don't you start flickering on me. But while we were on, or right before we started the podcast, Rico, the guy that I do the Star Citizen based radio with on Friday nights, contacted me and said, "Hey, do you guys want to give away a ship on your show?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So we gave away a 300i, which is it's like a James Bond car, I guess, for spaceships. Lots and lots of luxury and guns. It's yeah, that's about the best comparison I can put to it. But yeah, we gave away that ship today, and like halfway through the show, I mean, Rico had okay, I missed a part. God, blah, blah. Right before we start the show, while we're talking about, yeah, okay, we'll give away this ship, we realized that we're going to be 2 people down because Mr. Perfect's sister just had a baby, so he wasn't going to be able to make it. Core is in the UK right now. He's in England doing some kind of crazy insomnia LAN party thing. So he wasn't going to be on the show. So we're going to be down 2 people from normal. And so we're like, hey, Rico, why don't you just come be on the show, and we can give away the ship with you there. It'll be fine. So he's at the beginning of the show. He's talking about how he's spent the last hour or two interviewing Pedro Camacho, who is one of the guys, not one of the guys, who is the composer for Star Citizen. And Pedro was in the chat channel watching the podcast while we were doing the show, and was like, we were like, hey, if you have any questions for Pedro, go ahead and put them in the chat roll, and he can answer them and whatnot. And we got to about the halfway point of the show where we were going to be running some commercials, or maybe it was a little bit past that. And we're like, so if you have any questions for Pedro, we'll go ahead and read them off, I guess. And it was, we just decided, well, why don't we just invite him into the call and he can answer them in person? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that would be awesome. So, he fills the sixth slot for the show, and, starts answering the questions directly. And at various points starts, he was talking about, different kinds of music that are involved in the game, and different types of sounds that he likes to use for different, situations. And he starts playing something, just kind of, off the cuff sort of thing. And I'm sitting here listening to it like this. And I realize that I really need to stop paying attention, because the tears are beginning to well up in my eyes. I mean, you get to the scene in Close Encounters of the Third Kind where, the mothership and the big, keyboard computer thing there on the dark side of the moon are having their big conversation, and the big scene where in Star Wars, I mean, when the Death Star explodes, any moments of just a rush of emotions, especially if there's music involved. It's like the Japanese anime thing where tears are like spraying out in arcs. It's just it comes over me, and I just start crying like a bitch. And there is nothing wrong with that. Not a damn thing. Very manly to have the courage to cry. Have the balls to cry, man. But it was so awesome having him on the show. I'll probably get my copy some point tomorrow and upload, the copy to my channel. Really awesome, to have him on the show. And just absolutely incredibly, in some cases, almost aggravatingly humble. Artists are always, I've said this many times, artists are their own worst critics. And really good artists, the really good artists, are the worst of that bunch. Because he's playing stuff that is causing me to well up in tears. And he's like, no, it wasn't good. I'm like, shut up, dude. You would not be, hello? It's like, you're making me cry, you bastard. Take some pride in it. Not many people can do that. Just, wow. And then, one of my housemates had never heard of the game before. So I've just spent like the last hour telling him about the game. And now he's like, yeah. Woo. So just great stuff. Something I saw an ad for today that, by the way, okay, topic change. Something I saw an ad for today that I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I stopped to think about it. And it was ways to, like, in public places like malls and whatnot, to boost cell reception inside of a mall or whatever. And the way to do it, apparently, is that this particular app makes use of other people's hardware and kind of, ricochets through them. It's like, okay, you might not be able to reach that repeater or that, cell thing, antenna, doohickey, right over there inside the mall with this tiny little piece of crap Galaxy S1 cell phone that I have, but you can reach that person's cell phone and that person's cell phone. And so I'm not certain that this is the way that it's doing it, but you basically hopscotch through them to transmit. It's like, hey, could you pass this to the thing over there? And which is a cool idea, unless that chews into your data plan. That's the part that worried me. I wasn't sure about that. Is that what happens? Couldn't really get an answer. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Don't know. So I am going to go play some ESO for a little while. Right after I finish digging through these last few voiceover auditions that came in late this afternoon. Well, late this evening. I mean, it's 10:01 right now, and I think the 6th one just came in about 15 minutes ago. So I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Friday. Anything special for Friday? Nothing comes immediately to mind. I have my that My Little Pony convention on Saturday at it's 4:30 to 6, I think, is the panel on Saturday at the convention. So we'll see how it goes. I have honestly no idea what's going to happen when I get there. No clue whatsoever. With my luck, I will probably lose my voice at some point between now and Saturday. They'll be like, okay, so go ahead and read this part like Darth Vader. And I'll be like, it's not Darth Vader. Anyway, I'll talk with you guys later. Until next time, be careless.